in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, 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 won't you let the light shine through. In the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
Happy Monday, everybody. Good morning. How we doing? Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. Let's have a great week ahead. We got full week of streams. I don't think there's too much news compared to maybe last week, but let's take a look at that first things first. And we got some price action overnight we can go over as well. But if you got any trades you want some feedback on or call outs from last week, send them on in. Let's see if we can go find them. I'll see. Now, why did this happen? Let's go to Financial Juice and see what the news is this week. Today's the 23rd. Waller speaks. Nothing. All right, I got news at 10 o'clock today. Tomorrow, consumer confidence at 10 o'clock. A lot of speakers pre-market into the open. How about Wednesday? CPI for Euro. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Nothing. It's kind of just the early part of the week. Then we got PPI on Friday. So we'll see what we can find here. But Luigi, what's up? Good morning. Let's take a look at the overnight price action. I know Randy made some money on the shorts right at the Asia session. He made a video about it pretty much instantly. And I was like, was that today already? It was like, I'm watching at like 6 p.m. at night. But he made some money on the shorts here, I believe. That I guess it was something just taking the breakout of a new low, maybe targeting some level. But Randy made some money short. I know that on one of his XFAs. So we'll go over that on ASPEX TV later on this morning. Randy was trading a short at the Asia session, quick in and out. Other than that, buyers definitely took back control at like 3 in the morning, London Open, we'll call it. So a little bit of a flip, but we are respecting cleanly above this daily VWAP. We're about to come into play with that all-time high VWAP again. I like to look at it on the 15-minute. Somewhere we struggled with on Friday, and I think on Tuesday last week as well, or Wednesday, could be somewhere to trade too, right? Not that we can't break through it, but if you're going to be longs today, down by this VWAP would be ideal. We'd probably be looking to do something up at that VWAP. If it breaks through, great. We'll find another long. If it wants to come back down, all right, good thing we traded level to level. Right? That's what we're going to focus on this week. Base hits, as we always do. Not a lot of runner. Let's just go back to last week's trend real quick. Monday back here is Monday's open. And Friday's close was nice and healthy up here at the highs, but choppy Tuesday, up and down Wednesday, tight Thursday, drops a little bit. Not a whole lot of just continuation, price discovery into the afternoon. That get in, make your money, get out, look for another reentry. You're not going to probably hold it all afternoon and just make clean, stress-free money. So if our first long today is up to this VWAP, get on out. Maybe we'll look for another reentry. Don't be hugging profits to the end and then walk away with nothing. Like I said, there's not too much news. We just went over Financial Juice. Let's just look at Forex Factory real quick just to clean it up. Turn off the yellow folder. Why is it showing me yellow folder? There we go. That's last week. Dude, get rid of these yellow folders. Come on. This week. Yeah, nothing today. Nothing really tomorrow either. Or Wednesday. Thursday, unemployment as always. And then PPI on Friday is the big thing to look for. So we got a clean day today on a Monday to start us off. But we'll be live on ASFX TV in about 45 minutes or so. So if you want to hop over there, the link's in my bio to join for free. Just use code FIRST or just click the link in my bio. It should apply it for you already. But we had a good week last week. It's my last full week of streams this week and a little bit short of a week next week, but still going to get, I think, 2 days in. And it's just like 3 days off. Still be tuning in. Randy's going to be steering the ship as well as James. James should be back this week. So everybody's here. Yeah, at least this week. Everyone's here this week, so we should have a good week of streams. If we go back to this lower time frame, I marked it up quickly. I was looking at an NQ. Do I still have it there? I do. So on NQ, I had this marked up. Just a play, like at 8 o'clock, you got this volatile wick, just down and up. Couldn't really sweep that low to the left, but not something you want to be selling when you're just playing around this overnight VWAP, daily VWAP, whichever one. The longs are definitely in control as long as you're holding that. Now, the stop loss on this is probably too tight. You want to give it space to continue playing around with this daily VWAP if it wanted to. And ideally, yes, this is the time where you play it because it goes into profit there. But even you got to think about someone probably did long it right there. When it came down, looked like it was holding that overnight VWAP. Someone is long here, right? One of you, if not someone else. Long off the daily VWAP. That's a great price, especially if trend continues. Structurally, current stop never should be right there. Stop loss should never be a current structure. Want to try to find something to the left, previous structure. So even if we go off of that, your stop loss is 34 points, 876 here on NQ. And we can mark it up on ES if we have to. But just seeing with that, that dip below would smoke you. Have you not had a stop loss at previous structure? Right? Because current structure, this isn't the last and only time it's going to hold the daily view up. So you don't want to be smoked, but not be wrong in the direction, right? Losing money for no reason because the idea is not invalid yet. Goes into profit, back into drawdown, but you're still holding because there's no new information saying this previous higher low. And the last time we touched this overnight view up, hasn't been taken. So structure is still building bullish on the bottom. I want to be a buyer until it's no longer bullish on the bottom. And it takes a while, but that's what you get for trading pre-market. You're probably not going to find very fast moves, but you could eventually see that pop higher. I mean, even if you just took it to like this little pop here, 3 candles straight up, point 0.8 R, if you want to put a number on it, rather than sit for another hour to try to get a little bit more. But that's the only thing I got here pre-market. You're not going to really long it up here off of nothing. And then, yeah, I guess back here, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. for any of you trading London. A nice bounce off view up there. Nothing really down here. Just drift lower. If it's not near this line, I don't want it. Simple as that. And then today you can see we got the dashboard. I turned it vertical. Still playing with it. I don't know. I think I like it vertical. Normal should be big enough to see for you guys as well. Then once the open comes in, we'll get our levels. We'll get our VWAPs painted from yesterday's New York. All-time high VWAP is already on there. So everything looks good. Now, with us having like 30, 40 minutes until the open, what do we ideally want to see today? As if it matters. I mean, you got buyers in control. All right, cool. I'd love to long it. Pretty much always looking for longs until it's really telling me to sell it. It's still just pretty ugly. Yes, we had a finish to the week last week up at new highs. But I mean, you can just box it off. Just a lot of grossness in here. Even more reason to be extra scalpy. Take your money, look for another reentry rather than get caught holding a short down here forever or chasing a short on the breakout. This was like right at the open. This is the open here that swept everybody. And it was a bullish day. So please, please, please just get in, get out. Good morning. Does the Anchor VWAP bundle you guys have work inside Project X? I don't believe so. I don't believe so, but I don't do any of my analysis on Project X because VWAPs on Project X is just not good. It's not very accurate. You'll see it. If you even anchor your own view up on Project X, it moves around. It's not very accurate. So I never really did any analysis on Project X, no matter what indicator it was. I always did my analysis here. And then if I was trading on Project X, I would literally just like slide over to that chart and click trade. So I just wouldn't recommend it, even if it did work. A good question for sure. I'm not on Project X for anything anymore, anyways. Randy's the only one I think still going at it. Yeah, it sucks. And it's very weird, like the view up. If you just zoom on out to your chart, then you see it like fix itself. You're like, oh shit. I was looking at that wrong the whole time. NQ's not as we know NQ's all-time high view up is a little bit different because it hasn't made an all-time high in quite a bit of time. Let's go to the daily chart. How's that looking? Yeah, it's been a while. When was it? October, huh? Pretty much Halloween. Halloween all-time high view up. We're well below it here on NQ. Yeah, it's just so tight up here. I mean, look at the last 2 months since Christmas dried up. So I can still see us being bullish on the bottom, of course, as we always see higher lows trying to still set themselves in, but just can't make that higher high yet. But never say never. It was a good video. I don't know if it'll play the audio. It was on my Twitter last night. I mean, how about the Olympics? We'll save that for the ASFX TV stream. This was elbow room down where I am, where the Panthers go for their Stanley Cup championships last 2 years. I mean, this was at 10 o'clock in the morning at a bar, but must have been electric. I mean, yeah. What does this guy do? This guy's acting like he just won it, pouring a beer on himself. Fair play, fair play. Is anyone in a trade here pre-market? I mean, buyers are still in. this idea I had marked up, I would definitely be out here. Any trade I do somehow take pre-market, you want to treat it like its own session. There's London session, there's pre-market New York, and then there's New York session. In terms of what I would, especially if I was long here at the daily VWAP, if I could scalp any of this nut, thank you very much. Even if I get like halfway to my max profit on the day, that's a huge advantage, even also to go into the open with a little bit of green. So now that next trade you take, you run the risk of maybe going back to break even, but you shouldn't go red on the day. And you're already green at the open, so you don't feel the need to maybe rush in. So if you can make money pre market, it's a very strong advantage for the rest of the afternoon. Less likely to maybe do something stupid. But the worst thing would just be have a great long price. This just drifts a little bit, and then 9:30 comes in, stops you break even, and then maybe still goes higher. It's like, what the hell was that for? This is one session. Trade a different session. And then you'll see you're long down here, and the open just continues ripping, and you're like, "Oh, should have held that." You probably shouldn't have held that. Just because it did go higher without you, you probably shouldn't have held in that uncertainty and volatility. You would have been very mad. Zarb had a short overnight. Oh shit, I didn't even see Bitcoin this morning. 66, but what did it drop to? 65, huh? Close. What was its low? 59. That's insane. $230, 230 million worth of leverage longs are liquidated in an hour. That's a tough scene. But while we wait, let's take a look at Friday's trade real quick. So now we got our previous day's value area levels here on NQ. We're above the value area low, well below the POC. I think we already engaged that, right? I think Zach would say that's already been engaged with today. I mean, it's like literally right on it at the open. So that 80% setup probably out the window, unless I gotta ask him again. I think it just means any time of day, not just during the New York session, you know. But either way, how about ES? Similar levels, different levels, right on the POC, and then value area lows below us, high above us. There you go. Let's take a look at Friday real quick because it was super clean. Took a lot of patience. My first trade on Friday was 10:30, not the craziest amount of time. It seems like that is the common theme of our best trades, an hour into the day. So you can see at this point on the bottom right here, the new dashboard, clearly all buyers in control. The only thing standing behind is YM's high of day VWAP. That's not going to keep me out of a trade on any day ever. But you got buyers fully in control. And if you couldn't see that already, the first long idea was longs off this New York VWAP, also lining up with that previous day's New York, right? This lighter blue. Randy was in this setup. I don't hate it. I mean, this is on NQ. I know he was on ES, but they still probably both stand the same. Then you got your first break of open range high. I teach that in Futures 2.0 not to chase that. And you'll see here, it just often doesn't run, especially after just a straight vertical rip. How much more is it just going to keep on going without a pullback? So you wait for the pullback. Now you get priced closer to VWAP. Now your stop loss is at the bottom of range, protecting you more than it would be if you longed it here with a random ass stop right there. That makes no sense. So Randy did a good job waiting, getting price close to VWAP. He catches the volatility on the news here out very quickly. But it makes the next higher high. Great, beautiful. Buyers are still in control. Now I got to make a video on this. I already made one of them. But structure. I know it came down a little bit later, but you just look at structure on the bottom for your longs. Just the one piece of advice. Higher lows on the bottom, still building bullish structure. So many people would be scared of these failed new highs, right? Oh, it didn't make a new high a day. These are lower highs. We're going to come back lower. Buyers are weak. Now, it's not the greatest sign that we didn't make a higher high immediately, like we did here. New high, pullback, new high, rather quickly. Yeah, that's very strong bullish sentiment. But even if it doesn't, that's not enough to say this can't keep going higher. Because these aren't lower highs in my mind until there's a lower low with it. So if this was to break a little bit lower, breaking this back here, then structure is probably changing bearish. But so far, I can't say that because we're still holding up bullish on the bottom. Does that make sense? If you got any questions on that, I'll try to say it again. If because so many people will be scared to long it with these failed new highs and then miss out on a nice clean long because buyers are still in. And you look at it just objectively, New York view up is here. 1 minute below, 45 seconds below. We can't get below and close below New York view up and hold that control. Buyers are keeping that in, right? There's no attempts back here. All buyers. Buyers quickly step back in, quickly step back in. Why would I predict that sellers just magically step back in with strength now? They haven't been able to all morning. We're an hour into the day. It's been nothing but buyers showing strength more so than sellers. So if I can catch it on a pullback, right, rather than chasing higher highs, I never want to chase a breakout. I always want to price close to VWAP. Here it is. We're back at VWAP. Let's go chase. Shouldn't say chase, but let's go get the next higher high. You trade it level to level. I'm back. I'm out back at the high of day. Goes a little bit higher, but I'm just looking for the next leg of trend. I don't want to jump in on a leg that's already moving without me. So that was a clean trade on Friday. Austin made money with me on this on ES, and Randy made money long earlier. So there's plenty of trade opportunities. Some people even scalp these small little pops there. If you're close to view up, it could pay. Good morning. Plus that highest high was news driven, right? Yeah. It was breaking news driven, yeah. Or no, there was 10 o'clock news. But I think it was also mixed with like Trump speaking. But yes. John, top one futures, can you trade on TradingView? Look, oh yeah, you have to trade on TradingView if you're trading with top one. So that's a good question. Trying to move away from Top Step. So with top one futures right now, it's 45% off. But since you said you're trying to make the switch, you're gonna get 60% off, my friend John. If you go to Instant Funded, which is what I'm trading, I have 350Ks right now. You can see they're 35% off, 45% off the Ignite accounts. But if you put in my code, I think you should, especially you, John, 60. So it's going to be $271 for an instant funded account, all in, no challenge. And then you can see it's with Tradeovate, Ninja Trader. So I'm trading right here on TradingView right now. I'll have to log in today, but oh, there you go. I'm logged in just like that. But yeah, you can trade on TradingView with top one. You have to, or you could trade on Tradeovate. But yes, sir. And if you're unfamiliar with all the top one accounts on top of that, I do have a playlist here with 4 videos breaking down their account types, the Ignites, the Instant Fundeds. Like I said, I'm on the Instant Fundeds. I did pick up an Ignite account on stream on Friday because Clay was giving out that crazy deal. So now we got an Ignite account to try to work. Futuristic Day Trader, good morning. Where can I get the view up indicator on the bottom right? So you can go to the link in my bio or go to ASFX. Let me just put the link. asfx.biz/indicator. Austin was making a joke on Friday that anything you ever need, just type in asfx.biz/ what is it you need? Yeah, asfx.biz/indicator. Or you can go here in my bio on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and you'll see it here. And then Austin's got it in his, Randy as well. And then this is where we'll be jumping over today. In about 25 minutes, Austin's going to fire up stream. We'll be live here every day this week. There's some afternoon streams as well. If you go to ASFX TV, you'll see the schedule's all out. Zarb will be trading with us in the afternoon, Tuesday through Thursday at 1 o'clock Eastern. So if you can't make the New York session or you can't make the full stream at New York, you can tune back in later on and see what he's trying to find for his trades. But that's where everything is. Maybe we could put, I don't know. But yeah, let me know if you can't find it futuristic. Mr. Magic, how do you copy trade on TradingView? So I don't copy trade on TradingView. I don't copy trade at all right now. But if you want to copy trade these Tradeovate accounts, you can either do it right on Tradeovate, like execute your trades on Tradeovate. Randy's been doing that. So you could ask him on stream. And then other than that, you're going to have to use like a third party if you want to copy trade through TradingView, I believe. Bobby Boucher, good morning. Copy traded or third party. Yeah. Yep. I know they like Traders Post. I believe that's the one I looked into as well. I know there's a few, but I think Traders Post is a good one. But yeah, if you guys ever need the indicator or any of it, you can see it here even on the bottom. Maybe I can make it bigger. asfx.biz/indicator. But we got James Bruce back on stream today. Randy's on. He already made money short in the Asia session, so I'd have to assume that account's maybe locked out, but probably be trading his top ones. But yeah. So with this is really only the second week we'll be playing with this. I haven't changed anything since the last time you guys saw it in terms of like settings or anything. The one thing I'm going to be looking to add, which is already baked in here, is the previous week's value area levels. You can see here the dark gray. I know it's very faint. Is the previous days, but there is the option for weeks. I know Randy has that on. I think Austin might even have it turned on. And just click it on if you want it. But simple right now, just the previous days, and then you keep adding. And then what I like to do, New York overnight, previous days. Yeah, I like that. And then someone had a good question last week on can you do it for gold, or can we make one for gold, or can we make one for oil? We don't need to make it. You could add whatever three tickers that you want. So I have ES and QYM because that makes the most sense for me. But if you want to put gold, oil, whatever, silver, you can. But I just want to see the three alignment between the three indices. I was looking at it for the YouTube video that's coming out this week, probably tomorrow. Go the regular trading hours here. Oh, this is all sorts of 15-minute on the left, 1 minute on the right. There we go. So let's go back to Friday real quick because I didn't even mark this up because I'm not trading at 1 o'clock on a Friday. Enjoy your weekend, you psycho. But this was my long, right? I went a little bit higher, pulled back. Oh, actually, yeah. I made money on this long too. I scalped a little bit long here. That is in fact true. Didn't do my DRC from Friday. But let me see. Oh, I just got the one. Lazy piece of shit. But it comes down. But do sellers take control? No. Still builds these higher lows on the bottom. And it makes another jab for a new high. So I think just sticking to one side until you really get new information. Buyers were in on Friday. Even if it was a little bit slow at the top. It was Thursday. That was a shit show. So like I said, Friday's trades and Thursday's trades are going to be both in a recap video on my YouTube tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. I'm going to get back to doing the daily posts, daily recaps, as well as some other stuff like that. Copy trading tutorial, trading view tutorial, anything you guys want like that. John, what are you looking for? All of them to be green to trade? I mean, yeah. Ideally, simply put, there's obviously different layers to it. Austin just posted a tutorial video on it on his YouTube, so you can go find that on his. But you'll see, I mean, this dashboard this morning, you can see all green. Buyers are in across the board. Great. But sometimes NQ will be below its New York VWAP. So you'll see that down here with a red circle, but ES is well above. And then we get into a long, NQ never takes its New York, and ES comes back down. And you're like, oh shit. Well, maybe buyers weren't fully in across the board. It wasn't the best time to jump in long, or anything like that. You know what I mean? Then once you see NQ take its New York, ES is above its New York VWAP. YM is taking its higher day VWAP. We're bouncing off of New York right now. Why wouldn't this go higher? What would fear me that we're not going to go out to the upside? You know what I mean? It just simplifies things of knowing when I have a mixed trend, full trend. I don't have to question myself. But good question for sure. And you'll see how you want to use it, you know? Like there's a high of day view up option on here and a low of day. And it's not like it's invaluable, but if there's no high of day break on one of them, I'm still probably going to take the trade. You know what I mean? But I could see, well, hey, we just took the high of day view up on all of them. So that's kind of confirming my long. Let me sit in this. You know, it may not get me into the trade, but it'll keep me in the trade. Mr. Magic. I like that. We got Bobby Boucher, Mr. Magic, futuristic day trader. I love everybody's name. SS Chicago. But we got 15 minutes until ASFX TV. Like I said, Randy will be on, Austin as well. He's going to start it up over there. It's free for everybody. You can click the link in my bio as well, or just come here to asfx.tv and then sign up. Use code first. No gimmicks. Free for the first month. You get access to everything on here, the 3 strategies, all the replays from the streams, Zach's streams as well. So if you missed it in the afternoon, go back and watch the replay. But the main thing is go through the videos and then tune into stream and iron out all the details on anything you misunderstood, the things you're practicing, what we're waiting for, what we're not taking. And we're gonna do a bunch of giveaways this week like we always do. But you gotta be a member. I think we gave away 10 accounts last week on stream. And then the week before that, I mean, I was alone, so I got kind of reckless. I probably gave away another 10. So far in February, I've given out at least 20 instant funded accounts or Ignite accounts with Top One Futures. So hopefully you guys still held on to those. Hopefully only 5 of those 20 are blown by now. And then 15 of them are, and then 10 of them are up halfway, and then 5 of them are break even. Ideal world, they're all $200 away from payout, but probably not. If you look at the all-time high view up, you can see we're hitting it here, but I like to watch it on the higher time frame just because it's taking in different volume, and we're still well below it. So I wouldn't read that as we're rejecting all-time high view up yet. We still got to get up here. So a lot of time I would just unsync it and have this split screen. So I click on it, click no sync, and you see now I'm not distracted by it on my right side. I could just see it on the 15-minute. So any longs I find up here, I can know once we get here on the left, I should probably get out of this thing. Mr. Magic, I usually get confused on entry signal when price returns back to New York VWAP. Confused in what way? How? Can you elaborate on that? Confused on if you're looking in the right direction, when's the right time to buy it or sell it for a bearish day? What do you think exactly confuses you? The context of trend, like you were asking? I mean, then yeah, the indicator giving you that peace of mind of like, all right, I'm long off this daily VWAP. Buyers are in control over here. Buyers are taking New York and Hive Day here. Yeah, this is probably a good long. Trend is very strong. I mean, this is a clean one right now. I'll make it bigger just for this example. You guys can do this as well when you guys get it. Make it huge just for this example. This is what it looks like. And you could add even more things down here. I could add a low of day view up. I could add the price, volume, change. Let's just keep it like simple like this. Everything is strong up, but you can see NQ is only trend is up versus strong up. But other times you'll see mixed, strong up, but it's not fully alignment. So there's going to be different variations to it of we're very, very strong, or NQ is very strong, but the rest are kind of not. And then nothing's really strong. Everything is fucking mixed. Is that really where you want to be taking a New York view up bounce? No, because that's probably less likely to bounce and hold into trend when trend is not very clear, right? So it's not a matter of like you questioning if is New York view up a good price to buy it at? Yeah, it normally is, but maybe just not right now on this example because of everything being mixed, right? Because then when you don't see that follow through, you're like, oh, what the hell? Well, yeah, NQ was moving lower, and you could have seen that and maybe stayed out of the long, but oh well. To know if price will rip through or bounce, yeah. So kind of to like that point as well. And hey, I mean, sometimes it's gonna not bounce, and you feel like it should have. That's just trading. Nothing's gonna be 100%. Right? This is a clean bounce. This looks like it probably should happen almost every time. But when it doesn't mean anything was wrong with it. It just didn't bounce, even if its trend was super strong. So let me look back on here. Think of all this bearish move. This dashboard is fucking huge. All these sellers overnight. It pulls back. Do you think there wasn't people shorting it here saying this should bounce? It's been all sellers. You know what I mean? All sellers are back at this view up or even holding it for a while. I'm going to short this thing. Absolutely smoked. Makes sense out of that one. Sometimes shit just happens. You know what I mean? So don't get down on that if you take losses like that. But there's certainly ways to try to weed out the bounces that maybe don't have as strong of a chance of bouncing. You know what I mean? Now let's make this smaller, shall we? I don't even know why you would need it that big unless you're on like a TV maybe. For any of you guys trading on like a 70-inch TV, that could be valuable. You know, make it huge. This is normal. There's two smaller sizes to this. I don't know why you would do that. But yeah, Mr. Magic, we had a good discussion on that in the BSC. I think it wasn't a meal. No, it wasn't a meal. But speaking about feeling like we're taking New York bounces, the ones that we do take, they don't bounce. The ones we avoid because we're afraid it's not going to bounce, they do bounce. And it's just like that's not going to always be the case on always being on the wrong side. It's just a matter of, well, what bounces am I deciding to take? Is it the one when the trend isn't super clear? Is it ones when trend is mixed? Because then, yeah, why am I so surprised compared to the days when it's fully buyers in control? Kind of like I'm saying on this Friday. Why would I think this doesn't bounce? And if it doesn't bounce, it doesn't bounce. But why would I think that it's not going to? So that's why I have to play it and play the probabilities out of buyers are in control. So let's just play this long. Now, if this were to crack lower, I'd be like, all right, well, everything was pointing towards buyers were in. This is now shifting. You snooze, you lose. Oh, well. But that's a clean bounce. But any other questions? I'm going to jump over to AceFX TV in about 10 minutes or so. So any other questions you got, always fire them off. We'll be back live a couple times this week, but we're live on AceFX TV every day. How is YM today? Same thing. Everything was bearish, turned bullish, still trying to defend bullish. Look at YM. Where's the bounce off that overnight view up? Non existent. But yeah, Friday stream was crazy. Just trade wise and giveaway wise. But like I said, for anyone that does need a top one account, you probably already bought one, so you're not going to get 60% off, but it's still 45% off the Ignite accounts, which I know is a very popular one for all of you guys. Because that's like the cheapest one and the quickest path to payout, I think. And we think on stream we see the most payouts from there. But the instant fundings are definitely the strongest route, I still think, just because you have, I don't know, bigger target by $500 or so, right? You're trying to make 3 grand rather than 2,500 on an Ignite, but you're going to take out 2,500 of that 3 grand. So pros and cons. Like I said, I have a whole YouTube video playlist on it, so I'm not going to go into it. If you guys don't know what either account is, you can go watch it there. But it's still 35% off with my code, and then 45 the ignites. Like I said, you can still copy trade 10 of them. For any of you that are ballsy out there and want to copy trade 10 ignites, go for it. I don't suggest the sim pros. I never have, probably never will, just because it's intraday trailing drawdown. So to steer you guys right, I would suggest don't pick the harder route. That's just, I think, the harder way to pay out. With intraday, you'll get smoked a lot. So why choose that one when there's two other great options and another option potentially on the way? As we head into the open in 13 minutes, I'm not going to take a trade up here. And I would ideally not even like us to be super bullish at the open. Maybe. Right? Not that we can't, but just so many times I see maybe a little bit down at the open, find a base, and we work our way back higher. You know, get amateurs to chase in shorts right at the open, all that excitement. And then we still defend view up here and we work higher. That's a perfect world. This might move higher a little bit and then pull back. This might just move higher and move higher. So you don't really have a bias. You just read and react to the open, the New York view up as well. I don't know if this is going to play the audio. I tried to play it earlier, but we could try to find it real quick. And actually, this was to some of your guys' questions today. Care less about the setup, right? There is still an importance on taking a good setup, but it's more about like the environment that we're trying to take that setup. Like I was saying, if you take a New York view up bounce on a day that trend is showing you it's clearly mixed, probably not going to bounce as strong or as consistently as it would if everything is trending. I think that makes sense. So if the market's aligned, the setup probably works. If it's mixed, they're probably going to struggle. So you should still be focusing on both, but you do want to know the environment on what the or the trade you're trying to play. It's like blindly taking a high day view up break or something. It's like there's got to be other context we could use. Okay, Mr. Magic, hopefully we'll see you on stream. You got good questions, and then it's free. So just join us the rest of the week. Head into March as well. You can watch the strategies over the weekend or in the afternoons. Shouldn't take you too long. I think it's like 2 or 3 hours. Yeah, probably 3 or 4 now. I did an update to it in December. I added these chapters, 27 minutes, 27 minutes. So I'd say anyone watch this or rewatch this because if you've watched it once, you probably need to see it again. Not all the chapters, but I'd say like 7 through 13, the entries themselves. Rewatch those again. They're short in the beginning here, 10 minutes. Watch it while you're eating lunch. I don't know. But go through this and then tune into streams so you'll see what we're looking for and why we're looking for it. And then you'll understand the trades we're taking at the open. You'll understand why we're in this setup, why we're not, rather than just blindly following and being left in the dark. And keep up on the YouTube videos. I try my best to do the YouTube videos as well. So just get those repetitions every day. Okay, here's how we did it today. How about today? And then one last warning would be, like we said earlier in the stream, although this lower time frame in the last 5 hours have been pretty clean, right? When you look at it like here, break and retest of VWAP, zoom on out to last week, haven't taken out of yesterday's high or low, right? It's an inside bar day from Friday. Friday's high, Friday's low. No new high or low has been made, so it's not a continuation of either direction. It's not like buyers were in on Friday. We've continued it so far into Monday. We're just still inside where we already were. Not the perfect world. And then, like I said, since last Tuesday, I mean, not to be egregious, but fucking box it all off. Fucking ugly. But that's too much. Really just zoom it into like this low here on Tuesday. Something like that. And Tuesday's high at an all-time high view up. You can see we're just playing within here. And still right in the middle of it. So is that where your best trades are going to come from? In the middle of a range? I know for me it's not. So that's why, like I said, if we can make new highs, great. Beautiful. Along it on the outside of that range. And for even stronger shorts, same thing. Outside of the range, but there's still money to be made in here. So don't be afraid that you can't trade in here, but the easier money will be outside. Now, what even was the point value of it? I mean, 50 points on ES, not bad. Half and half on whether we break out of either range. What range is that, Bobby? Opening range or initial balance? Or what range are you talking about? Opening range, I would believe. But I think the initial balance is still pretty strong of just breaking one side. Unless things drastically changed. But all right. Last call for questions. Last call. Fire them off. We'll answer any more questions you got on stream, but we're going to wrap up this pre-market stream in a couple minutes. Austin's going to start the ASFX TV stream. And then, yeah, like I said, YouTube video tomorrow. I wanted to get it out today. I just don't have the thumbnail for you guys. So tomorrow at 11 a.m. And then we'll keep on doing the daily videos at 11 a.m. So you got YouTube videos every day at 11, ASFX TV streams every day at 9:30, pre-market streams here. So stacked. Top one sale is still running. This is the new one. Valentine's Day was been over. So this sale should be running the rest of the week at least. All right. So if you guys need one, 45% off the ignites or 35 the instants. And if you ever can't keep track of what the sale is, when you put in my code, it's going to match the best one. That's why it's not even like showing, like I said last time, I'll show it, is the 60% off thing. Many of you probably don't even know it, but if you go try to buy one thinking you're gonna get 45% off because that's what I just said, and you put in my name, you'd be like, "Holy fuck, I got 60." So go check it out, test it out. Whatever it is, it's gonna be the best. Previous day's range, gotcha. 56%, we break yesterday's range. Interesting. I always thought it was very strong likelihood that we don't be an inside bar day because inside bar days are very rare, more so than not. There's a strong chance we do take out a previous day's high or low. Just like Friday took out the previous day's range. Um, Even Wednesday took out Tuesday's low, and then Tuesday took out the previous day's low. Monday was an inside bar day. You can see it didn't take out either sides, but more so than not, I think it's more than 50. So I would double check that report, Bobby, or whatever you're reading, because I think it's more so than 50-50. But all right, chat. I appreciate you all. Fire off any other questions you got. Tune into stream. Like I said, it's free, so no reason not to tune in. But either way, I'll see you guys on there. Austin's gonna fire it off here. Say what's up in the chat. Ask any other questions you got. Here they go. Rev, Tom. Well, alrighty. I'll see you guys on there in just a minute. Let's have a good Monday. Keep it tight this week. Make yourself proud. Finish the month strong. It's a short month. It's our last full week, so let's lock it in and take those payouts. All right. I'll see you guys on stream.